It is Saturday, September 24th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back. It is Saturday. It's going to be a great day. We got our favorite 2 game picks and 1 no one first inning coming right up.
As always, guys, if you aren't already subbed to our channel, just do us a favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. It takes 0.5 seconds out of your day and definitely helps make Calling Our Shot so great.
And it is not my honor, but it is certainly my duty to hop into a recap yesterday. Man, we've been struggling for the past couple, about the last week. But no, in 3 days, I got hooked on my under in the Tigers-White Sox game. The Rays, Blue Jays game over-under was sitting at 6.5 for a live bet, and then they obviously scored 16 total runs, I believe. And then our no one first inning loses in the bottom of the first. Eric Lauer does not get it done. He throws a couple turkeys out there. I don't know how many runs the Reds scored yesterday, but I think 2 runs might have been the only runs they scored. But either way, we're going to keep getting into it. And, I see some comments saying, some negative things. And I do want to say this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I actually pulled the numbers in September. We're still at 4.8 units. I know it's been a struggle bus for the past week, maybe the past 10 days. And we've had some good, couple winning days, couple losing days. But you got to keep in mind, this is the MLB season. It's, 200-something days long. There's going to be a lot of days we're going to make money, a lot of days we're going to lose money. We were on such a great streak. And it's unfortunate that we've lost some money recently, but we're going to dial in to end this regular season. Hopefully we can finish September strong. We have a couple days in October of the regular season. Of course, we still got the postseason coming on up. Do want to remind people, I see Logan with this Gators shirt on. College football week 4 best bets is live. I'll link it in the comment section down below. NFL week 3, player props, all that stuff's already live on the channel. So if you're in preparation for Sunday, get ready for those videos. We have 2 new All-Stars though, Levito and Jock Walker. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. It really means a lot. Helps Logan and I get up every single morning. But Logan, we're dialing back in today. We just have to. What's your pick play for today?
Yeah, I want to first, before I say that, I just want to tell people this to me is the hardest part of the season to bet in baseball, without a doubt, because you have so many teams that aren't playing for anything. You've got teams just throwing in experimenting lineups. And so it really is making our life really hard. And you're kind of seeing how we are giving some units back. But we have to stay the course and we have to stick with the system that got us here. So in that same breath, I'm sticking with this type of research that got us here. We're going to the Cubs versus Pirates game, and I'm taking the under 7.5 total runs in this one. -105 on DraftKings is your best value. Now, look, this is just the classic over-under pick, and I see the public trends, and I see the betting, and that's what's made us a lot of money recently. So I'm going to hopefully, continue that. Oviedo is scheduled to pitch for the Pirates today. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs versus the Cubs back in June. You look at that start, I mean, could have been better. Oviedo, 5.91 ERA in his last 3 starts. That's not great. But 2 of those starts were against the New York Mets. I mean, the New York Mets can make a lot of, pitchers look bad. The other start was against the Reds, right? Oviedo, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 0.6 whip versus Cincinnati. And I like to compare Cincinnati to the Cubs because honestly, to me, they kind of remind me of each other. Statistically speaking, the Cubs offense is similar to the Reds. And I think that the Cubs, Cubs only hitting .219 in their last 3 games, 18th in batting average, 22nd in OPS in September. That's not really that daunting of an offense. I know they did score last night, which good. Hopefully they got the runs out of the system. Oviedo is in line for a decent start today, and I hope he's able to keep their offense at bay. Now, on the other side, you got Wade Miley pitching, right? 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, and a .14 whip versus Pittsburgh back in May when last time he saw them. That's a really solid outing. I hope Miley can duplicate that again. He absolutely, carved through that Pirates lineup with ease. If you look at Miley's numbers recently, not great. 4.5 ERA and a 1.5 whip in his last 3 starts. It could be better, right? But again, guys, the get right game is pitching against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh only hitting 168 in their last 3 games. Also, Pittsburgh only hitting 226 versus lefties during the month of September. Miley is a left-handed pitcher. So, I mean, there's a lot of evidence that says even if Miley doesn't have his A game, he's still able to hopefully keep the Pirates, under 2-3 earned run type game. That's definitely in the realm of possibility. These 2 bullpens suck, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But they do set the over under with the knowing that the bullpen has to come in and probably give up a few runs. The books are dialed in on these totals, or maybe they're not. I don't know, because I'm trying to figure it out. Sometimes they set a total at 7 and it over doubles that, and then other times they set at 8.5 and there's 2 runs. So hopefully we get back on track with this one. I really do like this pick, and I am confident in it. You have to be confident in what you're placing this time of year, so that's what we're rolling with. But Austin, what do you got for us today?
Logan, I'm wearing my Cubs shirt to support you, my Cubs jersey. So I hope they get it done. I do have to mention Albert Pujols. Shout out to him for number 700. That's just insane. So that was electric last night. He'll be on the thumbnail today. We won't even talk about his game. But for my pick, I had to look at this whole board and look. There's a pick that stood out to me, and I'm going to be taking the Mets money line. Minus 400. Like, it's a steal. It's a steal. You're getting DeGrom at minus 400. Steal of a deal. Now, obviously, that's a joke because I'll be going to the Nationals, Marlins. Actually, sticking in the same division, taking the under 3.5 in the first 5 innings, minus 105 on FanDuel. We're just taking that first half bet because that's all I want to do. I don't want to touch these two bullpens. But look at who's on the mound. For the Marlins will be my man, Sandy Alcantara. He's in Miami, and in Miami, he's absolutely been dialed in. Logan calls it Sandy's Beach, a 1.67 ERA, 0.89 whip at home. He's been dialed in, and in 3 starts versus, I think either 3 or 4 starts versus the Marlins. He's thrown 32 innings pitched, 3 earned runs allowed. So he's been dialed in against them, and he just pitched against them through a complete game, only 1 earned run allowed. That'd be electric. That's what we kind of need, and hopefully he pitches pretty well. I can afford him to give up maybe 1 earned run. Hopefully he can give us at least maybe a 0 earned run performance through the first 5 innings. On the other side of the mound, might need a little bit of support as Eric Fetty will start for the Nationals, a 5.29 ERA and a 1.56 whip. In my opinion, when I look at this and see the Marlins as minus 210 favorites on the money line and like a run line and a minus 110 pick 'em, I'm like, I don't know about that. The Marlins obviously are a team that we know their bats can go cold, and they've gone cold before. You look at Fetty, he's perfectly capable of a quality start. He had a start versus the Mets earlier, I believe 3 starts ago. 6 innings pitched, only 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed. If he can do that, he can do that against the Marlins. He's also capable of giving up 6 earned runs, ruining this bet for us on his own. He's pitched all right versus the Marlins, 14 2/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs allowed, a 4.3 ERA, which is lower than his normal ERA. But the thing I like the most is you look at the batting averages versus Fetty, and this Marlins team doesn't have a lot of hitters you've probably ever heard of, but the guys that I have heard of and that are, the normal guys that they need to get on base haven't really hit Fetty all too well. John Birdie, who's led bat and leadoff, 0 for 5. Garrett Cooper, 0 for 6. Miguel Rojas, 1 for 14. So I like those guys being in the middle of that lineup. Maybe they can give us some easy outs and get Fetty out of some jams that he might be stuck in. So I think Fetty can certainly get it done. I like this under at the 3.5 in the first 5. Go for it. If you want a little bit more value on FanDuel, you can take like the first half run line plus under parlay. It's like you can get the Marlins plus 1.5 and the under 3.5 for like plus 115. So that's an interesting look if you want to go towards that. But I really like this play. That's my free one of the day. And then we got Rangers team total over 3.5 is my lean. Like, I just don't want to trust the Rangers this far into the season. But I will note the Guardians are the classic. When I log on to FanDuel and I see a team minus 126, that number exactly, oh no, it's a little suspect. That's what my Twins were a couple days ago, minus 126, and they got wrecked. So just be on the heads up. If the Guardians lose with Cal Quantrill on the mound to Glenn Otto and the Rangers, don't be surprised because they're in that classic trap. And so definitely keep your eye on up for that. But of course, Logan, we need to bounce back. It's NRFI Nation time. We need to fly these flags. We need to get 6 staying out. Eric Lauer, you stink. Thanks for nothing, buddy. We need to cash out today. And this was my lean yesterday, and it naturally hit. So hopefully we can get some cash from this one. We're going to dive into the Giants and Diamondbacks. No one first inning. Now, we have to put minus 118 on FanDuel, but we see, like, you go to odds, Jam, you see minus 118 FanDuel, but then a lot of other books are more juiced. So at least it's on PrizePicks for the PrizePicks users out there, but a little bit juice. It's probably minus 140 is probably as high as I'd go. Let's dive into why we like this one. Now, on the mound for the Diamondbacks with Merrill Kelly, and he started off the year really bad for no on first innings, but he's been dialed in lately, 21-9 so far, and he's 4-0 versus the Giants. And look, we don't lose in the top half of the inning, so Merrill, go out there, do whatever you want. We probably will lose in the bottom half, but Giants 26th in first inning runs. Obviously, have been struggled against righties. Merrill Kelly is a righty, so Merrill Kelly, I need 3 outs. I think you can get it done. Who's pitching for the Giants today, Logan?
Yeah, we got Alex Cobb going, right? Cobb, 21-4 on NRFIs this year, which is a lot better record, honestly, than I thought a pitcher like him would have. That's really solid. 2-1 versus the Diamondbacks, though, on when he's faced them in the first inning. That's important to know because if he was 3-0, I'd be like, chewing my nails a little bit. I don't like that. He did get his fluke Yerfie out of the way. What we always like to say. This is where all the action will happen, right? Arizona 25th in first inning runs. Over under set to 7.5. What do I mean by all the action? Well, as Austin always mentions, we only lose in the bottom half of the first. So it will be Cobb facing against these, Diamondbacks hitters. Hopefully he's able to keep the ball, in the ballpark, hopefully limit the extra base hits and walks. We should hopefully fly the flags today. Let's go, Nerfy Nation. Get back on track.
Yeah, we need a W, and we are 96 and 64 on no in first innings. We're 4 away from the illustrious 100. And I don't know the stats to it, Logan, but we've lost 64 Nerfies. Obviously, a big number, but not as big as 96. I don't know how many we've lost in the top half. I would imagine that number is 5 or less, which is ridiculous that we've, lost that many in the bottom half of the inning. But look, that's just how it kind of works out. You always got to sweat it out until the final bat. But as always, those are our 3 picks of the day. We don't have a parlay of the day. That will return on Monday. So definitely keep an eye out for that in a couple of days. But go watch that college football week 4 week 4 best bets. Go check that out. Go do it. Go click it. It's right on Logan's face. Go click his face right now. That's where you can click it, and you'll see us there talking about some college football big time games and our 4 favorite bets each. But we appreciate you guys always. Let's get back on track today. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys back again Sunday morning.